Muscatine. This is Autumn Schultz with Discover Muscatine, and we are back for a Freezing for Food little check-in this afternoon. And we had something quite amazing happen this morning, and I'm going to hand the mic over to Chris Anderson so he can tell us about what this is for the Salvation Army for Freezing for Food.
All right, Muscatine, I'm going to get a little sappy for a second because this is the perfect example of how this community always pulls through when we need to. And it's, I've been out here for several years now, and there's always these great donations that come in, regardless of how much they are. They're always very heartfelt, and they always go to the right place. And another one, I think probably the most unique donation I've seen was a gentleman. We had just finished the show this morning. A gentleman walks up and says, "Are you in charge here?" And I kind of like, well, I guess, such as it is, sure. We're hanging out at a truck. There's really nobody in charge. And he reaches out and hands me what looked like, at first, I thought it was like a frozen steak, I'll be honest. He's probably out there laughing. But, it was a bubble-wrapped thing. And he's like, "Oh, it's heavy." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And as soon as he handed it to me, I knew roughly what it was. And he quickly said, "Do you know what that is?" And I said, "Well, I have an idea." And then he just said, "Well, it's an anonymous donation. Make sure it gets down there," and basically turned and walked away, which, is typical Muscatine. There are so many generous people in this community that don't feel the need to be recognized or don't want to be recognized, which I completely respect. But I do want to reach out to the anonymous donor if you're watching and say thank you very much. And also use it as a way to help remind the community that there is a lot of great stuff going on and a lot of people that do a lot of great things in this community, even when you don't hear about it. So, even if you might think somebody, you may not, who knows, they could be one of the ones doing this. So just kind of always remember that, especially this time of the year, and not for like a donation sake, but just because you don't always know what's in everybody's heart and what they do when people aren't looking. So what this actually is 100 ounces. So somebody, MPW, we got some smart guys here, 0.99%, it's 100 ounces. So how many pounds is this? I know this is getting heavy. Like, I know Reed could handle this, but it's what, 16, 5, 7, 8, 7, 7.5, somewhere in there.
Hold it, I'll tell you.
Sure. So it's 7.5 pounds. Let's call it 100 ounces of silver, which checking today's market is about $2,300, which obviously will buy a lot of food, provide a lot of And so then I ran into this was a great donation, and I'm at first, and then I ran into a problem. Do something for me. See if you can put that in the kettle. Yeah. The problem is this thing doesn't fit in a kettle, right? Like, and of course they're locked for security. Like, they don't go anywhere. So of course the first thing we did is we called Lieutenants Lucas and Macy Gentner from the Salvation Army. Called them, and Lucas is here, and I want to give this to him now. And there is bubble wrap inside for it, so you don't hurt it. But man, that thing is solid. So there you go. It's a thing. It's a thing, guys. So I just wanted to pass that story along. It's one of the great things. I'll be honest. There's a lot of great things about my job and what we get to do here in Muscatine, and that's one of them. Is we get to see great people in this community doing great things that not everybody else gets to see. And so I'm always thankful for that and what I get to do here in town. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll turn it back over to Autumn because I'm not exactly, I've been told many times I have a face for radio. So actually I'll turn over to Lucas first, let him say anything that he would like to say, and then we'll turn it back over to Autumn. But
I do just want to say thank you so much. This is really going to help us love beyond this Christmas season. Of course, we love having help. We love having donations to assist people during this season, but we want to help beyond that, help year-round, and this will definitely go a long way towards that. So to whatever it is, thank you, thank you, thank you.
By the way, that is really cold, and that is such an amazing thing, so make sure we wrap that up and keep it nice and tight. and that is such a unique way to go into the Salvation Army. I love it. And speaking of volunteering and taking time out of our day, we have gentlemen here from Muscatine Power and Water. We are taking the afternoon, and I want to know what the Salvation Army, the freezing for food, especially everything that MPW does, why is it so important for all of you to be here?
Well, I think we've touched on it already. It's great to see Muscatine's generosity on full display, and those are the people that Muscatine Power and Water serve, and so we're just happy to come back out here and give back to the community.
Yeah, I would agree with Matt. The community is so giving, and to be a part of this is just our way of giving back to the community and helping out the best that we can. So.
And I see you have some calendars you're giving away. How are those calendars going?
We're going like hotcakes today. Even though it's freezing out here and we are freezing for food for the Salvation Army today, calendars are going like hotcakes. So stop on by and pick one up. Free with any donation.
Look at him. He should be in sales. I love this. And did any of you attend Jingle and Mingle? Yeah? How was Jingle and Mingle this year for you?
Good. It was good. Good participation, good sponsors, just a lot of events for kids and the families. It was a good time.
I loved the truck. I think that's always so much fun. I can't wait to see it all lit up next year. Do you always try and maybe decorate it a little bit more each year?
I'm not sure on that. That's all done by transmission department, so we're in the generation department. So we make the power, they get it out to the customers. So.
I don't know. Did you see that truck this year?
I
I
did.
don't know if you could go any more than what they've already done.
So I don't know if you saw it. So after Jingle and Mingle was over, I did at 8 o'clock just a little thank you. And I walked right over in front of the truck and I sat down on the floor. And Erica took a picture of me. And that is probably the most color you will ever see me wear. But then with all my lights and the MPW lights, it was really neat. I loved that truck. It was a perfect photo backdrop. Well, gentlemen, thank you for coming out and volunteering your time. I know MPW has a bunch of you for the whole week volunteering, especially for freezing for food and the bell ring. I always love MPW and everything you all do for Muscatine community. So thank you. And yeah, I need gloves and my hat. Are you going to throw a hat at me again? Thank you. Got a hat. Woo, and I caught it. Perfect. Well, be sure to there are plenty of times that you can sign up for freezing for food and also ringing for the bell, so be sure to do that. Until then, I will see you tomorrow. Stay happy and stay healthy. I will see you later, Muscatine.